So here are 4 tips that I think could help you get out of a slump if maybe you're not performing as well in games as you think you could be. Welcome back to another episode of the Inner Athlete Talk series, where I try and help you optimize your off-court, off-pitch and off-field performance. So here are 4 tips that I think could help you get out of a slump if maybe you're not performing as well in games as you think you could be. So the first tip I'll give you is to mentally reset yourself. Take a bit of time away from the game. I know what it's like when you have a bad game and the first thing you want to do is just try and get back on the court, get some reps up and show that, look, I can play better than this. Right? Just take a second, breathe. You need to just relax because the adrenaline in you is not going to help you focus. And when you're not focused, you're most likely not going to perform at the level that you need to be. So that first tip is mentally reset yourself. Okay, check yourself, spend some time away from your sport, maybe if it's just a day where you do not touch anything to do with your sport, and then come back to reassess why you had a bad game. Now the second thing I would do is to ask your coach and actually listen to them. I'm guilty of it. I've not always been the easiest person to coach. I don't always listen to what my coaches have to say, especially as a younger kid. But as I've grown older and my goals have gotten higher, and especially as I've transitioned into coaching a little bit and training people, I understand that the one thing your coach does all the time is watch you. They literally are there to watch you. If you play badly, it reflects badly on them. So they want you to play well.
I saw you do incredible matches and incredible things, but I always felt that you had ups and downs. There is a huge difference between a player that keeps consistency and a player that has moments.
I know there are some instances where maybe there are some coaches that aren't looking out for the best interest of their players all the time, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is you play well, it makes them look good. So regardless of what the situation is, listen to what they have to say, because all they do is watch you. They stand there and watch you. They watch you play well and they watch you play badly. So they are the best person to ask, not yourself, because again, in the game, you have a lot of adrenaline, so you're not going to understand why you do things. A lot of things you do will actually just be from instinct. It's not going to be from a logical perspective. Your opponent isn't going to understand, because if you play badly, that makes them look good, and that's their job, so they're going to move on. They're not going to spend time thinking about why you had a bad game. But your coach wants you to play well. So ask them and really listen to them. Humble yourself, go and talk to your coach, and they will be able to tell you how to improve. The third thing I would do is to watch game film. So whether it's your own game, which is probably the best film to watch because then you can see exactly what you did wrong.
Why? Because you have to watch yourself repetitively over and over and over again doing the same thing.
I'll never forget this. The first time I met Ray, he said, believe what you see and what you study. What you study on this tape and what you see, it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time when.
But perhaps there is no footage from your game, no one was there to film it. Watch a player who plays your position at a high level and see what they do in the similar situations that you find yourself. Okay, now I know that's very specific, but it's because you probably find yourself in a particular scenario that you're struggling in quite a lot. So by watching what a high level player does in the same scenario you find yourself, you'll actually be able to understand what you should be doing too. Which is actually why I made my basketball IQ test series, so that you can see particular scenarios and the different options that are available to a player and why the pros choose to do what they do. So if you're a basketball player, go and check it out. And then finally, after doing all of those other things before, then I would get onto the court or pitch or field or whatever your sport is and practice what you are going to do in the game. Don't just step on there and do random drills or things that look cool. Do what you're doing in the game, because that is where you're struggling. And you're going to probably play another game very soon. So make sure you are practicing the game situations at game speed so that you can get better in the game. So those are my 4 tips on how to come back from a bad game. Let me know in the comments if you do anything else after a bad performance. Make sure you're following on Instagram. I'm always dropping content on there as regularly as possible. But until next time, stay blessed.